All-WCC. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like you said, fully deserved. What was your reaction to learning that this morning?
I was excited, obviously. I didn't know it was coming out today. I generally try not to keep up with those things. It saves you from disappointment. So I try to just steer clear of thinking about it. So just finding out today made me really excited. Just really proud of my teammates. Obviously, Yvonne got 6th player and Lee also got 1st team. So just super proud of them and all the work that they put in. And obviously, it's showing it's paying off.
As you guys head down to Vegas for the conference tournament, kind of what's your confidence level like? And I mean, there's a possibility you could be facing BYU again. Just kind of what's your thought process heading down there right now?
Yeah, we're pretty confident. Obviously, just preparing, trying to stay mentally in this moment. Obviously, it could be anybody. We've seen crazy conference tournaments this past couple years. So just staying prepared for any team, trying to work on little things from all of them, and just staying focused and trying to prepare this week.
Do you feel like the resume that you've built so far this season has earned you a qualifying spot in the NCAA tournament without the AQ spot?
I think it should. Obviously, career-wise and just this team, look in the past couple of years, we've been a very good team, and we've done pretty well in the NCAA tournament. So I feel like it should. Don't really want to rely on that, but I believe that it should, and I hope that it does pay off in the unfortunate event that we have to rely on that.
You had the highest career field goal percentage heading into the postseason over your time here. Just kind of what does that stat mean to you, and just talk about all the hard work it's taken to get you from freshman year to now to have that.
Yeah, that blew my mind. Super proud of myself and the work that I put in, obviously. I was not expecting that. Again, try not to look at the stats so that I'm not disappointed. Just that was really, I feel like, it proved to me how much work I've personally put in and just showed like the work that I've done. Obviously that stat's very interesting because it shows not only like shot selection, but like your ability to finish, your ability to finish through contact, do well in tough games. From freshman to senior year, it's not just like a senior year stat, like I've done good this year. It shows that all 4 years I really put in the work. So I think it just showed me how much I've done these past 4 years.
Coming from Post Falls, just down the road from you here, have you been able to reflect on the last couple days, playing your last time on this court?
Yeah, that was tough. It's crazy being from Post Falls. I came to these games when I was young. I remember elementary, middle school, my parents would bring me here, and I was just in awe of the team and the program that they've built. So having all that experience before coming to Gonzaga, playing here, and then having that last game was just, it really like tied the bow nicely. I mean, it's been a great career for me, and I'm just really proud of what I've done and being able to play here and having this opportunity.
As a senior, I mean, this is the last ride for you. What can you guys do to make sure that you can ensure like a little bit of a run here in the tournament and continue playing with this group?
Yeah, like I kind of said earlier, just focus. I think it's going to be a huge part. Like I said, we could play anybody in the tournament, in the conference tournament, but then also in the NCAA, you have no idea until the selection Monday, any sort of idea who you're going to be playing. So I think mentally focused, working on all the little things, and then just hard work you see in all of the big games. It's all the little plays, getting on the ground, getting one more rebound, all of the little hustle plays that are going to make a team great. So if we can work on that now so that we can do that in the tournament, I think that'll help us make it pretty far. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Big honor. The second time just awarded this to another Zag. But talk about the energy you try to bring coming off the bench.
Yeah, just making sure that I start off with like coming in, getting rebounds, getting stops, bringing energy through that, my defense, just starting off that way, and then finding a way to settle in offensively and contribute that way, just making sure that even though it may not be scoring, I'm still bringing energy to my team in that sense. Yeah, I think from the losses that we've had against BYU, it's definitely just making sure we're taking as much information and learning as much from those games to bring to that game. Not really focusing on what we did bad, but what we can do better. I feel like that's definitely what's going to drive us and help us, not just through BYU, but through other games as well, making sure that we're bringing our best consistently.
I assume you guys pay attention to all those national rankings and strength of schedule and all those things. Do you feel like you guys need to win one more to be have a better chance of making NCAAs?
Yeah, I guess like when you do look at those brackets, it's like one more game would be nice and stuff like that. But honestly, for us, it's just winning all the games. Like we want to continue to be our best to get better every single day. So even though winning one would help us like with different brackets and stuff like that, we just really want to go far in the WCC tournament and obviously get to the NCAA and go far as well.
And following that latest BYU loss, I think you've been winning the 3 games by average about 27 points there. How do you feel the team is playing, in those last 2 games?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely have a good flow just based off of those games. Offensively, getting people open who we want to get open. People being more aggressive offensively. We have Anna being way more aggressive. We've got C shooting the hell out of the ball. So super good in that sense. I feel like we're just playing really well together in this end of our conference season. So it's really good for us just going into our postseason.
And then winning 6 versus you this early in your career, how does that kind of help you in future years here? That you at the top of the WCC?
Yeah, I guess as recognition, it's kind of just not really a starting place, but kind of just like a little, I guess, boost for like where I can get to and stuff like that. For me, honestly, it's just getting better each and every day. I don't want to stop here. I want to keep moving forward. So just making sure that I'm bringing that energy and that pride that I get from this recognition and just taking that into my game to, get to the next level each and every day. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on making All-WCC.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about that honor and also what you overcame this year in terms of injury.
Yeah, so I went out early in the Hawaii tournament with the hyperextended lefty. And I mean, it was tough, honestly, as an individual, but I just knew that my team was there. They picked up right where we left off, and never in my mind did I have a doubt that we would struggle with. I mean, like I said in the beginning of anything I've said before about the season is anybody can fill in the role, and we're so versatile in our team that it's easy to pick up. And with the award, I always give my thanks back to my teammates. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am.
How was that comeback? I mean, that's a serious, could have been a very serious injury, but talk about the progress you made to come back, and here we are.
Yeah, so the season before, I hyperextended my right knee. It just felt like deja vu again. I went through the same process of, trying to get an MRI in to see if everything was fine. After that, it's just getting my mind right, getting back into it, giving my knee a chance, giving my body a chance to kind of get back into it. Made me nervous, but I went through the same treatment. So.
How do you feel going into postseason play?
We ended pretty strong. I'm super excited. Postseason's an exciting time to play more basketball. I know we just celebrated the seniors. It was bittersweet the last time they were playing in the Kindle, but to be able to play more basketball with them, it's something to always look forward to.
Just how can you recreate that first half that you guys played over here when you were able to shut down Shaylee and Lisa, all offensively, and then for whatever reason things maybe changed in the second half and it wasn't the same down the road. So how can you recreate that if you happen to play those games?
From both games, minus the first half of the first game. Both games we strayed away from what our game plan was and just went off track. So being able to go in with our game plan and sticking with it throughout the 40 minutes we're playing is what we're shooting for.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Greg.
A week off. How are things going? What are you guys doing to get ready? And when do you leave?
We leave on Saturday after practice, and I went recruiting yesterday. So I think what they worked on was, some offensive continuity, some stuff that after a season's worth of things, you start to have some slippage in certain areas. So there's some things that we run all the time that need to be cleaned up. We've watched the film of the teams on our side now, and we have not had always time to break down that film as a team and work on the errors or things that we didn't do very well against them because of the way the schedule has fallen. And so it's nice to see some of those games and say, like we played San Francisco back-to-back, so there wasn't a lot of cleaning up time. But there's some things that we didn't do great against them. We haven't played San Diego in a long time, and if the seeds hold, it would be one of those two, right? So we've been able to look at some of that and just focusing on those areas. I think a little bit more technical stuff than the conditioning and the, I don't know, just the general basketball stuff. We're always working on those things at least a little bit, but more focus on how we can win games and be sharper.
When it comes to, you look at the WCC bracket, the fundamentals bracket, compared to typical tournaments, how big is to have that triple bye and that rest? When a lot of other teams, you can be arriving where other teams are playing.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's not all positive. I mean, we won't have played on the gym or on the floor, and so I think that the teams that play on Saturday are not at a disadvantage. They've played, they've won, they've practiced for whoever, and then they get to play. So I don't think that's a terrible setup. Certainly, if you had to try to go from Wednesday or the first games all the way through, or Thursday the first games all the way through, then that's tough to do and doesn't happen very often. It's just once or twice, maybe if ever. So we're happy to win as many games as we can, and I think that hopefully this time of year the rest is more of a benefit than being on the floor. The hoops are still the same height, the length is still the same, so hopefully it'll all work out in our favor.
And at this point in the season, if you don't get the automatic qualifying, do you feel like the team has done enough in terms of the resume to qualify for the NCAA tournament?
I think so. I mean, I've been on the advisory committee for the last few years to the selection committee, and just looking at, I don't spend a whole lot of time focusing on it because our schedule is what our schedule is, and I got to prepare our team to be the best they can. But looking at where those wins and losses lie, Utah is a far left victory that we have. It's the only one that we won. But there's a bunch of games over on that left-hand side, more than we normally have. Actually, Washington State's over there, 2 Stanfords, the BYUs. So that's a good thing for us. I think Stephen F. Austin is just outside of that. So I think, our goal is to keep winning, but I think that we're going to be okay regardless.
Coach, if everything goes to plan down in Vegas and the seeds hold, you would have another matchup with BYU. How can your guards and how can your defense recreate what you did in your first half here when you were able to really bottle up Shea Lee and Paisley wasn't herself? How would you be able to recreate that down in Vegas?
Well, I just think we have to stay focused. I mean, we have to stay focused, and we have to stay diligent. You can't take plays off because that leads to runs quickly, or you can't not rebound, or you can't be not be strong with the ball because they capitalize on those things. So I think if we're aggressive and focused and we go one possession at a time, we could have played a lot better in both games. The first half here was pretty good. I don't know. We still could have played better, though. There were still plenty of opportunities where we had a mental lapse or we took a shot that was ill-advised. So I'm pretty confident that our team will go and compete regardless of what the situation looks like.
You guys went 15-2 this year in the conference. Some years that wins it, not this year. But how would you judge yourselves as coaches this year?
I mean, I think our team did a good job. I think that every year it looks like this. I just talked with our team a little bit how everyone wants to talk about all that you lose. I mean, go back to when I was an assistant. We lost all those people the year before Courtney, and then all the people Courtney's year, and then all the people the year after, and go back to Chandler and Z and Barta. It's what happens every year, and it's hard to stay at the top. And I think that the way that our players show up every day and push each other, I think our coaches are really trying they're always watching film, they're always watching practice film, they're trying to meet with the players and figure out how we can be our strongest. So I feel really fortunate that I get to coach players like this and with coaches like this, because we're never out of any situation just based on they're smart, they work hard, and they care about the right things. So I feel like we all did a pretty good job, like we expect to do.
I know this is a behind closed doors negotiation. I wish you could offer some insights into how these awards get.
I wish I had some insight, Jim, to be honest with you, because I never understand them when they come out, usually.
I don't understand this because a year ago you guys won the league by 2 games.
Yes.
With a very strong team.
Now,
BYU won the coach.
You got to read this.
They did.
And this year they won the league by 1 game with a
And we're going to go straight into
massively talented team with 4 returnees, and he got the coach.
Yeah, that's
So
a great.
that's a tough thing to comment
That
on, but
is
I'm curious.
I think it's an interesting question for the rest of the coaches who vote on it. I know for me, I vote for people who did something that they, if you win the league substantially, then I generally would vote for you. Obviously, it wasn't substantial this year. I think a lot of people see people beat Gonzaga and they think that that's enough. I think if you do something that people didn't expect you to do going into the season, then that sure warrants. There are some coaches, not exactly. I think San Francisco did a heck of a job. I don't know what they were picked, but she did a really good job. Maybe it's because you convinced all of your seniors to come back, and so that makes you the best coach because you're the one who's able to do that. I don't really know. I just know how I vote. And, sometimes it seems like you either have the best players or you did the best job of coaching what you had. Sometimes it all comes out for you on the other side. So, yeah.
How cool was it to see Kayleigh and Melody yesterday? And then can you just talk about the bench that Yvonne gives you guys off the bench? What was it like? Go get her!
Yeah, I think that really happy for Lee and Mel. We don't overdo the individual stuff, but I just was talking to our team about finding the balance between being happy for them and it being well-deserved, but also not those that I thought maybe should have gotten a vote here or there, or maybe been on the second team, that they shouldn't feel that they didn't do enough, you know what I mean? So there's that balance, but those guys do a lot for us. They're important. And Vonnie, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a co with Vonnie and Lenny. Those guys come in, and people would love to have them as starters on their teams. I mean, we're fortunate enough that we're going to be able to have them for more time. And I would say they both started different games this year when there were different situations with COVID or injuries. But Yvonne and people wonder, why are they on the bench? Why aren't they starting? They bring such a powerful hit to us. Other teams sub, and we get to bring in those two. So not only are they, is there no drop off, but they're oftentimes raising the level of play. And so Vonnie's energy, her rebounding, she can guard everybody. I think it was the right choice for her to be the 6th player of the year. And I'm glad she's wearing the Zag uniform and not something else. Yeah, thank you guys.